Yeah, they got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. Ted DiBiase, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face here live on YouTube and all your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Chris Rucker along with my co-host EJ Reed, and we are here to talk about the world of professional wrestling as we saw it this past weekend. Some live wrestling we both got to watch. A little bit different scales. EJ, you went to Survivor Series. I went to Wrestlecade out in Winston-Salem. But before all that, man, how you doing? How was your weekend?
A lot of traveling over the past week, still recovering from that. But other than that, I'm okay, I guess. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I didn't do as much traveling as you did. Took a 5-hour drive up E45 to Winston-Salem and did Wrestlecade stayed 3 nights this time. Normally I come back on Sunday, which made the drive a lot better. Thanksgiving, my kids were with their mom's family, and Tab went to her family in Charlotte, and all my family. It turns out a lot of my Kansas City family that lives in Florida and all that, they all went to Dallas for the football game, which I can't do that kind of shit because I have to work the day after Thanksgiving. So they all traveled out there. So I just fucking stayed home by myself, smoked the chicken, made some sides and stuff like that, and just watched football all day.
That's what's up. And you said your family went to Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you had family out there in Dallas.
I don't anymore. I mean, we had a lot of family out in Texas, but they just went out there for the football game. All my Kansas City family went out there for the football game.
I don't know. I didn't put the connected dots. I forgot. Yeah, Kansas City played in Dallas. I'm like, okay, that's what's up, man. That's a hell of a trip.
Yeah, some of them from Florida. My grandmother from Kansas City went down there. She was sitting there in all her Chiefs gear with fucking big Chiefs gold chain, the big oversized chain that everybody wears. She's got one of them on, but she had a Dallas Cowboys coffee mug that she said she was drinking for me.
Man, sorry your family traveled all that way just to see that L.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun. I was watching everybody's stories and shit like that. They were partying pretty well.
That's what's up. That stadium is monstrous. I know you went for WrestleMania. I went to a Cowboys game a couple years back. So it's a sight to be seen.
Yeah. How was all your traveling though? You went up from Missouri to Carolina to California.
Yeah, man, because I didn't plan on going home for Thanksgiving because of the Survivor Series trip, and my mom kind of guilt tripped me into going because I went 2 weeks ago for a conference in South Carolina. So I'm like, going for this conference, that's a close trip, close together. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna be there for Christmas anyway, so I'm just gonna skip Thanksgiving. And my mom was, like I said, guilt tripped me because we had family pictures we had to take that we always do around this time of year. And if it wasn't for my flight credit, I wasn't gonna go because I had extra flight credit because like a month ago I accidentally double booked the trip somehow, so I had a flight credit. So I'm like, all right, let me see what I could do, and I was able to fit everything in perfectly. Left on Tuesday, even though I did have to take more vacation time, which wasn't too bad. I only had to take like an extra day and a quarter basically. But yeah, I left on Tuesday. Did a round trip because my original trip for San Diego was Southwest, but the credit was for a Delta credit. So I had to figure out a round trip from South Carolina Kansas City to South Carolina and back through Delta, and I timed it where it came on my original flight date to San Diego on Friday, where it came like an hour before that flight left. So I timed that perfectly, and then got on the Southwest flight over to San Diego. So, like you said, a lot of traveling.
How was San Diego? I hadn't been there in like 25 years.
It's my first time going, so I didn't know what to expect. I used to live in California, but I never made my way down there. First I went is LA a few times, but yeah, it was cool, man. It's like more laid back. Of course, it's still California, so prices are high as giraffe pussy, as you would say. But it's a nice little vibe, nice weather for this time of year. A little brisk, but it was what it was. A couple spots I went to eat. Nice little ramen spot, and did some exploring. Went to the zoo yesterday. That was interesting.
The world famous San Diego Zoo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be that guy and be like it's overrated, but I've been to zoos that are maybe not as big, but almost just as big, like the St. Louis Zoo. I went there once. That's free. I guess it's paid by tax money, but St. Louis zoo is free. This one wasn't. This one was expensive. I remember back in the day, you could get in the zoo for less than $20. It was like 70-something bucks just to get in, and then
to go to the zoo.
It's crazy, ain't it?
Shit.
Well, I'm like, I'm already here. I might as well do it. And I like animals, but nothing, special about these animals than the animals in the St. Louis Zoo or the Columbia, South Carolina Zoo. So I don't know. Not sure why it's so world famous. It was nice, but nothing out of the ordinary as far as zoos go.
I'd honestly forgot that the San Diego Zoo was like real popular until you said I went to the zoo, and immediately in my head I thought, why the fuck would you go to the zoo in San Diego? And I realized, oh yeah, the San Diego Zoo. Like that's all everybody talks about. I don't think I ever went to it because I lived in a town south of San Diego called Chula Vista. I lived there for like a year. It's basically like Metro San Diego. You could walk to Tijuana. I don't think I ever went to the zoo there, though. I was a kid, so maybe we did, and I just don't fucking remember. But
say do it just to say you did it, but
yeah,
don't go in there with these high ass expectations of gonna be some shit you never seen before.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into everything we saw. We'll I'll talk about WrestleCon first, since it was the smaller of the events, and then we'll cover.
Hold up. Sorry to interrupt. You said WrestleCon and Wrestlecade?
Oh, I'm sorry, Wrestlecade. I'll talk about Wrestlecade. I always get them confused. Since it was the smaller of the two places we went to, and then we can get into Survivor Series and talk some NFL. This will be a shortened show. We're both coming off travel, and it's a non-recording night that we're doing, but we're here anyway. But Wrestlecade, always fun. It's basically, if you haven't been, it's a convention at a convention center in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Sounds crazy, but it's actually perfect for what it is. Like, it's easy to walk around the city. It's easy to get back and forth from hotels to the convention center. The convention center is pretty big, but I will say this: as much fun as I had at Wrestlecade this year, I think I'm kind of over the meet and greets with like older wrestlers. Like I was all excited about this Sting picture that I did, and you get there, and first off, his line was fucking long as shit. Like Paulie B and his friend waited over 3 hours to go in there. They got in line, waited over 3 hours. I just kept coming back, checking on the line, and I was waiting until it died down. It took me 15 minutes to get in. But you get in, and not that I expect Sting to be like, oh, tell me about this, tell me about that, but like just a little bit of interaction. You know what I mean? Not just, you're just another fucking number on here, right? So I give him the picture. He says, oh, that's a cool picture with the action figure. And he signs it and pushes it back to me. And that was it. Never got up. I don't even think he looked up at me, right? In my head, I built this thing up to oh yeah, it's a cool picture, and he's gonna see this and kind of recognize some of them. Maybe he'll ask me about them. None of that. Just give me a signature, get the fuck out of here, right? Didn't even stand up. Jamie Hayter was in the same room as Sting, and I was watching her interactions with people. She was getting up, walking around the table. She was talking to people about their outfits, the whole night. It maybe takes, 35 more seconds to acknowledge the person and act like and I'm not just talking about Sting. I'm talking about like a lot of the older wrestlers, right? Like I watched Kane, not the governor of Tennessee Kane. He was there as Kane. He wasn't there as Glenn Jacobs. This motherfucker had on an old raggedy ass Kane mask with a wig, and he was wearing like Nike dry fit clothes. Didn't nobody come here to see Kane after he leaves the fucking gym and gets off the elliptical? Like he's just walking around in regular clothes with that ugly fucking... It wasn't even like an original mask. It was like some shit you get on WWE Shop. Like it looked awful, right? You see all the older wrestlers and they give such minimal effort. They're just there to collect the money. And then you see the younger wrestlers that are interacting with people and they're making you feel like... Because I'm not gonna lie to you, that Sting autograph, it wasn't cheap. You know what I mean? Like, let me get my money's worth. For that Sting autograph, I got 3 other meet and greets with people, and I was able, for the same price, and I was able to go have drinks because theirs were so much cheaper, and his was so high, and they actually like. Again, it ain't just. I do want to preface this with but go back and say I understand he was probably fucking worn out. He'd been there for like 3 or 4 hours, just like on and on and on, but. Man, you get paid a lot of money for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I want the same energy everybody else got. Like, these older guys don't even, like... Some of them don't even get up from the table, EJ. He's, like, where Sting was for the pictures, his last picture in Winston-Salem in face paint, because he's retiring that shit, right? He didn't even get up. You didn't even go to the same side of the table with him. You just fucking leaned over the front of the table and trying to squeeze in. They took a picture like that. It's like, come on. That's disappointing. So I think I shouldn't say I'm done with the meet and greet portion of it, but I'm definitely done with like high expectations of like these older wrestlers that you want autographs and memories with that you grew up with, which is, unfortunate, but whatever.
I mean, not to justify that behavior, but when it comes to like a legend like Sting, he kind of paid his dues. Like you said, Jamie Hayter was more vibrant and full of quote unquote piss and vinegar, but he's been there, done that. What 40 plus years? So,
then stay home and keep your ass at home, and don't charge these high ass fucking prices to come in there and meet you, and then be like, "Well, I'm." And again, I've met the guy many times before. He's always been pleasant. This time it's just like, it's almost like he's at the end of the year and he knows it's almost over. And he's just like, just get me the fuck out of here. Like, let me get my money and just go so I don't have to do this shit anymore. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate as a lifelong Sting fan that my last interaction with him was kind of negative like that.
And like I said, not to justify that behavior, but, Sting kind of earned the right, the guy his status, just to have a bad meeting. Like, everybody has bad days. Or, like you said, he didn't get up, but, people that age, sometimes they're physically not able to move around.
Man, this nigga was just jumping off a ladder last year through a table. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
That might have took it out of him. But
he better get up and beat on his goddamn chest.
Yeah, but besides that, like, I'll give him a slight pass, even though I don't give him like a full pass. But like people like Kane, you should be up there kissing fans' ass. Like, I never was a huge Kane fan. He was never that guy. I mean, he was literally the Scorpion in the Sub-Zero version of Undertaker. He was like whoever came first. And I mean, is he still the mayor? On a side note, is he
I don't know. I don't know what he does anymore. But I just know I saw him there, and I was like, at first I thought it was fake Kane. I used to have the fake Kane, and he would go around doing it. And that's what I thought it was. I was like, no, that says formerly known as Kane Glenn Jacobs or whatever, right? And he's just got a little crooked ass mask on and some shitty hair sticking out the side of it with workout clothes. I'm like, this motherfucker ain't even trying. Now, you know who was trying? And I'll give him his props. Braun Strowman was there. That motherfucker was working a room. And I know he's got like his TV show out and shit like that, but you could hear his voice like permeate throughout the fucking room that you were in. And he was so fucking polite and like engaging with everybody that came up to him. The only other meet and greets I did Nikki Blackheart. I finally met her. She was dope. She was very friendly. Danny Larkin, Therapist Larkin. I took another picture with her. She's always fun. A lot of people like my the turkey is or the mac and cheese is more important than the turkey shirt I had on. I got a lot of comments on that. Even Hoop was like, "Man, your shirt's over." But I'll tell you two things that stood out to me. One, we were waiting in line for Hoop to get a Tully Blanchard signature on one of his belts. And all of a sudden this guy comes by and he's got this fucking little red wagon like full of shit to get signed. And I hear this old guy behind us go, "Get out of here. You're not getting in front of me, motherfucker." Like that loud. Now, when you turn around, there's only about 4 people in line behind us. So it's not like the line was 2 miles long. It was just like, these motherfuckers start arguing. The guy's got 2 kids with him, EJ. Apparently the older guy like pushed one of the kids out of the way. And the guy says, "Won't you use some more bad language around kids, you stupid dickhead?" And the guy goes, the old guy, he goes, "Yo mama." What a serious look on his face. And the dad's like, "Wow, you're mature." He's like, "I don't give a fuck. Your kids are going to have to learn the rules of the rules. They can't just come up and get in front of..." And I by this time I turned around because now everybody's looking. I'm like, "Yo," to the old guy. I was like, "Don't worry about it. You can just get in front of us and you can go." He's like, "No, fuck that. I'm not going to get in front of you just so these little motherfuckers can get in front of somebody else." And finally, the guy with the kids just left. And I was like, either one of y'all could have just went 3 people back. Like, it ain't that big of a... But yeah, they started a big fucking scene in the middle of wrestling to meet Tully Blanchard of all fucking people.
I would say out of all people too.
Tessa was up there too.
Ugh. Well, like, I don't know. I feel like both people could have done better. He said, "Can't be using language like that in front of kids." Meanwhile, he called him a dickhead.
Yeah, he called him a dickhead right after he said it, which I thought was very funny.
Called each other black, which probably was intentional. But yeah, I mean, that old guy, even though he was in the right, he overreacted. He could have handled that better.
He wasn't in the right. The little kid was there the whole time.
Oh,
He
really?
didn't.
Well,
He didn't see the little kid. He thought that the guy got his kid to go stand in front of him, which again doesn't make sense because there's only 3 people behind you. So why would I come and try to cut you when I can get in line and be up there 2 minutes after you are? So I don't know what, but the old guy, he didn't want to hear that fucking de-escalating shit. Like, he was ready to go right then and there. Old white guy, had long white beard, tied down hair. Saw him later on in the day and he came up and said what's up to me again. He was just like, "Hey man, how's it going?" A little bit more calm than I was earlier. I'm like, "Yeah, get the fuck away from me, you crazy hillbilly."
Yeah, just looking for trouble. Even though he was in the wrong. I'm surprised that nobody said anything about that.
Strong and wrong. Well, it's because he asked Hoop. He goes, tell him that the little kid wasn't here. And Hoop goes, "Actually, the kid was here." And he goes, "No, fuck, he wasn't." And Hoop's like, "All right, man, whatever. Like, I'm not going to argue with you, but the kid was in front of you." And so the guy with the kids ended up just taking his kids and going somewhere else. And I guess they came back later.
Wow. Something always popping off at events like this. But
yeah.
My favorite part of you going to Wrestlecade is when you bump into wrestlers that you don't have meet and greets for, that you randomly bump into. I'm sure a lot of that happened.
Yeah, I saw Isla Dawn on the elevator. That was special.
Was it awkward? You just sitting there silent, like, I'm not gonna be a fanboy, but obviously know who you are.
Because I don't. I think we've talked about this before. I don't really fuck with them when they're not at work. I know we're at Wrestlecade and we're walking around the hotel and shit, but like, they probably need time off too. You know what I mean? They're about to walk into this big ass convention center, and people are gonna be expecting them to be on the whole time. You don't want some fucking guy on the elevator like, "Hey, Isla Dawn." Well, anyway, rode the elevator with her. Then the doors open and Willow Nightingale standing there. That was fun to see her in person. And then
How tall is she in real life?
She's about 4 inches shorter than me.
Oh, man, she looks
Yeah.
taller on TV.
You know, I like to compare her to Natty Neidhart. Like on TV, they look like these like hus. I don't even know what word I should use. They like the bigger women, right? Like the powerhouse of them. But in real life, they're small. They're like now all the women are small, so I guess technically Willow is a little bit bigger than everybody. But I don't know. On TV, she comes off as way bigger than the rest of them. She's really not. Like Willow's. Yeah.
I feel like Megan Bang would translate in real life of being like
Didn't,
statuesque.
didn't we see her in Vegas? Were you with me in Vegas when we saw Megan Bain? It might have been my buddy Brent at WrestleCon. She was standing there in Vegas with like these big ass heels on that made her even taller than everybody else. But yeah, walking around seeing that, like hanging out at the bar, people are coming in and out. I want to think it was Friday night down at the bar. Me, Hoop, a couple other podcasters and shit like that are there, and we're at the corner, and so people keep coming up and leaving, coming up and leaving, and all of a sudden these two chicks come up, and they look younger. They said they were 23, I think is what they said. They come up, and they're sitting in the stool next to where we're standing at, and they're talking to us and shit, and all of a sudden, your boy shows up with no chin.
And who is this that you're referring to?
James Ellsworth shows up with no chin. And the rumors would have you believe that he was canceled because
PDF file, right?
Yeah, because he was fucking around with younger people. And he comes in, and all of a sudden he's like, I don't know if these chicks were there with him or what, but they were acting as if they knew each other. So one of the girls comes over again to grab a drink, and she's like, comes in between me and Hoop. And Hoop's like, be careful with that guy over there. Like, he got in trouble for messing with younger girls. And when I tell you, this girl got so mad at us and was like defending James Ellsworth, like loud in a bar. Like, he was set up and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, I just turned my back on her. Like, I'm not about to fucking do this with you. Like, if you want to be over there with Creepy McCreeperson, you go right ahead. But that's really...
Yeah, she must have been with him. You said they looked like early 20s ish.
Yeah. So they were 23 or something like that. It could have been the original. I don't want to say that. That's reckless speculation. But yeah, she got mad. It was like, he was set up and he's not a pedophile and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I'm not going to argue with you. Like, I did my due diligence by telling you to be careful around him. If you want to do the rest, that's all you.
Obviously, when you're older, you have an influence on a younger person like that. But like, I think with the older dudes that do that, I think it's something mentally wrong. Because speaking of one of your favorite singers, R. Kelly, of course he was known for the underage woman, but I think he later on in his career he got hip to it. So he's like, I'll do legal stuff, but I'll still mess around with like 18 to 20 something year olds because towing that line. But like, why even do that? Because like, you're playing with fire.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to me. I don't get the fascination with people that are underage when you're fucking like Ellsworth look like he's damn near 50.
I think it's like some like Peter Pan syndrome, like reliving some weird childhood stuff or whatever. It's weird. I don't get it, but to each his own. If they're consenting adults, then whatever. You go ahead and be weird, girl. Defend this weird.
Yeah, she's. He's
a weird looking guy too. Like it's not like he got the juice or anything. Like
when I tell you, she said she was 23. Because we were joking with him, like, are y'all old enough to be in the bar? When I tell you these girls look like they probably weren't of age, they look like they weren't of age. And that's why, but I mean, they bought drinks, so they either had a fake ID or the bartenders didn't give a fuck, which I think the bartenders at that bar do pay attention to that. So it was either a fake ID or they really were 23, but they looked young.
Yeah, it's like a hit or miss. Sometimes you got girls at that age that look older, but then you got like younger looking girls. And when you think about it, 23, that means you're born in the year of our Lord 2002. So
after I graduated high school.
Yeah, it could have been and just looked young, but knowing his track record, he might have been underage. So
Yeah,
hopefully, 18 at least.
but it was a good weekend. Drank a lot, probably too much. Like I said, wrestlers are everywhere. It's always fun. Like it's always fun going there, hanging out with the people I don't see, but maybe once or twice a year. And I think Wrestlecade is a good location for it because everything's in such good proximity. It's not like Vegas, right? Like where you might run into somebody at the hotel at WrestleCon, or you might see somebody at another event in fucking Summerlin or on Fremont Street. Like everything's right there. So if you want to hang out with people, you can. If you don't, you can fucking avoid them. So it was a good time. I don't think there's what did Ellsworth, the old man, meet and greet. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got on WrestleCade.
You didn't do any actual wrestling events? I know last year you did.
Yeah, I went to the show Saturday night. But it was one of those days where I woke up, I was drinking when I got up. I ended up getting a lunch, and then I went back to the room and took a nap. And when I woke up, it was dark outside. It was only like 5:30, but it was dark outside, so it like fucked me up. I was half drunk, and I still had to sleep, so I was just kind of out of it. So I went to the show a little late, and I bought a ticket to get in. Normally, I sit with Hoop or Jay-Z Flair or somebody like that will have like a free ticket for me in VIP, but they couldn't get in it this year. So I just bought a ticket. I kind of stood up in the back. I didn't see anybody. And so I watched like 4 matches, I think. And then I went to the bar, and everybody I was looking for at the event was at the fucking bar. So apparently they left the show too. And then I watched the ladies show on Sunday, which was a lot of fun. It's just
Any
one of those
notable wrestlers?
notable. Your girl Lacey Lane was there.
Oh, nice.
One of her first appearances outside of AEW, like on the Indies. Let's see, who would you know that was there? Gigi Dolan and Shotzi Blackheart had like a death match where they were stapling each other's face and vagina with a staple gun. There's literally a picture of Gigi Dolan with a $5 bill stapled to her ass while she's fighting. I don't know how they, I don't know how they did that, but who else was there? Nikki Blackheart, I saw her wrestle. Brittany Brooks, I don't know if you know her or not. She's Chris Bay's girlfriend. She's really good. I hadn't seen her before. She's really good. Yeah, I'd have to. Scarlett Bordeaux and Killer Cross were there.
Did an appearance or they?
No,
actually
they
wrestled?
wrestled. Angelina Love, and whoever her boyfriend is, her husband, they fought them. Apparently, they got like a beef going. Friday night, I saw a video of like Cedric Alexander coming to help Shelton Benjamin in a match with MVP there. Bobby Lashley no-showed, which is a big thing going around. Like people are pissed. They don't know why he didn't show up, and people were waiting in line for a long time to see the Hurt Syndicate, and eventually they said Bobby's not coming, and they gave it. I saw the thing on Facebook. They like issued everybody refunds and then made them buy separate meet and greets for just like MVP and Shelton. I'm like, as long as I'm waiting in line, just give me a refund. Let me take the picture for free. Like it hadn't been reported why Lashley no showed, but people were fucking pissed about that because the Hurt Business had like one of the longer lines there of people. They were just under like the Hardys and Sting and guys like that. Of all the people below that tier, they probably had the most people trying to see them.
Yeah, it seems like it's convoluted how they did it, but at least they gave people their refund. And going back to the Killer Cross thing and Scarlett, that's so weird how that unfolded. Like, that's crazy they didn't re-sign. I don't know, but I don't want to go too far off the beaten path.
Yeah, and how could I delicately say this? I just don't see it. Like, he was there. I watched his entire match, and I don't get the appeal. Like, there's nothing that I see. I'm like, yeah, WWE dropped the ball on him. And it's just me. Like, people love the guy. They cheer for him. I don't see it.
I felt like Scarlett was highly underutilized. did some good stuff in TNA, and they didn't let her talk at all. But I
Wrestle
digress.
too. She could wrestle too. I don't know if she just doesn't
Yeah,
want to wrestle anymore or what.
exactly. But yeah, all in all, sounds like you had a good time though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It always is. I don't think we were missing any. It had a different vibe to it this year, but not in a bad way. As far as like hanging out with everybody and shit like that. I don't know what was different, but I just remember thinking it's got a different vibe this year. But still a lot more fun, or still a lot of fun. But yeah, that was my trip to Winston-Salem for Wrestlecade. And then while all that was going down, EJ Reed was in San Diego for Survivor Series. So
Yeah.
we'll got some questions about that. But go ahead, tell us about the trip, the venue. What was it, Safeco Park?
Yeah. So I'm gonna bury the lead a little bit, and then I'll work backwards because I was drinking all day. I went to go see a movie, Wicked. I watched the original on the plane for the first time, and then saw the sequel because just to pass time. And, okay. But I've been drinking all day, and when I got to the post show, I was feeling pretty good. So I got up close to out like the wrestlers like right in front of me, and I took a picture and sent it to you, not knowing you hadn't watched it. I didn't even think about it. You hadn't even watched it. And I'm like, and I'm like, okay. Look, and you asked if it was certain somebody. I'm like, nah, that wasn't her. I tried to play it off, but yeah.
My drunk ass believed you too, because I was drunk as shit by then too. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I just closed my phone and went back to drinking.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I hate when people do that shit to me. And I actually was an offender, so my bad. But yeah, going into the park, shit, they weren't lying about the 46,000. The park was full. Weather was, like I said, it was brisk weather. I had a jacket on, so it wasn't too bad. When I got to my seat, somebody was sitting in it, and so it was a guy, his kid, and his girlfriend was like in between my seats, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting right next to y'all, and this kid was sitting in there, and then it wasn't too much of a hassle. Got him out of there pretty quickly. But then it was three other people that were sitting onto the right of me, and slowly throughout the night, all three of those people were in the wrong seats too, and the original people eventually trickled in. So I'm like, why are people sitting in the wrong seats? I did my method I always do. I got the tickets day of, and it were it were expensive, but that's WWE at this point. I got lower level, level one, but I was on the field, so it's a stadium. So it was basically our vision of WrestleMania. You know how I was on it, and so it was cool. It was a good vibe in there. Everybody was electric, and guess we could get into the nitty gritty of the actual show. When did you actually get to watch it?
When did I watch it? Maybe yesterday? Because I did a lot of laying around yesterday, so I think I watched it yesterday. But you know how it is. Like, it was a lot of fast forwarding that I was doing while
Oh
I
my
was
goodness,
watching.
yeah, that's one thing that grind my gears. I'm glad you brought that up. So much time in between matches. I don't know how to translate it at home, and you've brought this up before, but I'm like, never really paid many attention of it. I'm sure it happened when we were at Mania, but it really was noticeable this time. Like so much time in between matches. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It kind of irritated me.
And it's only, what, 4 matches?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're doing all those fucking ads and commercials and shit, man. So you're paying all that money to sit there like it's. I've said it before. I mean, you've been to UFC shows. UFC shows are fun, but in between the fights, it's boring as fuck because if somebody gets knocked out in the first round, they still have to allot the next people to like time to stretch and get ready and all that shit. So you're waiting like 20 and 30 minutes in between fights sometimes. And that's how WWE feels now, especially if you're watching at home. It's like, all right, match one is over, and I got like 20 minutes before the music hits again. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so that was annoying because, like you said, at least when you're at home, you can fast forward if you're looking at it later, or if you're at home, you'll see the ads. But when you're in the stadium, it's no ads really playing. They'll play like, I think they did the fan cam a couple of times or whatnot, but it's really a lot of nothingness in between. It's stuff going on the big screen, but nothing to note. But Yeah, it's just annoying, and like you said, it's just one big ad at this point.
Yeah.
So,
We had some friends of the show that were out there. I wish I was in no
oh yeah,
condition to like get in touch with you by the time I found out. But my buddy Ray that took a picture with him in Vegas, big Dodgers fan. He was out there because he lives in LA. And then Damian Cruz that we hung out with in Vegas, him and his girlfriend, he was there. At actually, I think he was kind of looking at his Instagram. I think he was somewhere near you actually, but he didn't realize you were there until it was too late. So
man, I would have said what's up, man. Next
yeah,
time.
yep. He said he didn't
But
realize
yeah,
you were going until, like I said, until it was too late. So by the time he found that out, like I think it was either the end of the show or it would have been difficult to try to get in touch with me or you or whatever. But yeah, a lot of people that we know were out there. And what was the vibe like? You said the vibe was live, like nobody was upset.
yeah. Like the actual venue, it was dope. Like as far as the scenery goes, it's right there, right up on the water. Everybody, had a buzz in the building. Like when it got started, the guy I was sitting next to, like I said, with his kid, he was like a Navy guy. He had a Navy shirt on. He was like the character of the show. Like he was like a kid in a candy shop. Just the way he was overdoing it on purpose. You could tell he was doing it tongue in cheek, but it was fun at sometimes, and other times like, all right, now you doing a lot over here, buddy.
Yeah,
But so when you have somebody like that saying to you, that kind of like sets the scene of the night. But besides that, yeah, it was a nice little vibe.
what was your favorite part of the night? What was the part that was
Probably
like, this is why I fucking came here?
probably the Cena Dom stuff. I mean, like you said, it's only a four match card. I wanna I don't want to be too harsh on the show, but that was definitely a high of the show. Other parts of the show, not so much. So I don't know how you want to get into this as far as your how you feel about the show.
Yeah, I it sucks that I was intoxicated. I would have, if I would have saw the show live, I'd have been like, dog, you got to get me one of those John Cena shirts. I feel like that's the best shirt he's had come out. Like that was a dope shirt. It was white. It was man, I can't even remember what I was on it now. I just remember looking at it thinking,
It had
that's
positive color.
yeah. I was like, that's a John Cena shirt I would wear. It doesn't look like cartoonish or whatever.
I would have, if you would have said something, I would have brought you one. I'm not a shirt guy, but I actually had to get this shirt. They had the super shop open after the show, which was the fucking ridiculous long ass line. I don't even know why it sat in there. And then the thing about it, the irony is, once I finally got to the front of the line, I looked behind me, and it was a short ass line. And I was literally, when I started, it was outside the building, and it wrapped all the way around when you got inside to get to the super shop. And then once I got to the line, I looked behind me, basically no line. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah, if you would have told me, I would have caught one for you. But
you
like you
got you
said,
got the Cena shirt.
yeah, I copped it.
That's dope. Is it like a baseball shirt where it's like uh the sleeve got like a different color around the edge of it, or am I crazy? Because there's shirts that are called baseball something. They're a little bit more thin. They got like the collar's a different color, and then I swore his sleeves had a brown ring around them. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's still in the plastic. I still had me, like I got home super late or super early. I literally didn't go to sleep. I took a shower and then went to work because my flight was delayed coming back 2 hours because I was supposed to land at midnight, then land to like two something, and it was Kansas City, so I had to drive back to Jeff City. So I still hadn't unpacked fully, so it's still in the wrapper. I have to examine it later.
Yeah, I haven't unpacked either. I literally got home today and put my shit down and took a long nap.
Must be
Overslept.
nice.
Then I had to get up and go work out and shower, and girlfriend got home from work. It's been a long day. I'm looking forward to watching Stranger Things tonight and not doing a goddamn thing else.
Yeah, it snowed today. So right before lunch, boss lady came in and was like, "Go home. This is inclement weather." So I got to work remotely half of the day. And I was looking at the weather. It's supposed to snow from like 2 to 4 even harder. But I looked outside, it wasn't even snowing when we started the show. I'm like, damn it, because if it would have snowed, I would have been able to work remotely tomorrow. So my ass would probably have to go in. I'm like, why couldn't it have snowed even more? But yeah, worked half of the day here, which was nice since we started a little bit early. But
well, let's get into Survivor Series. You said the highlight was John Cena, which I agree with when I was watching. I'll start with the main event because I have some thoughts about it. It was trash. That's my thought. It was not good. Normally, a War Games match has all the storyline involved and all that. This was literally just like once everybody got in the ring, it was maybe 6 minutes before the match was over with. The run-in made no fucking sense. Like, whoever this guy was, it was acting like Seth Rollins. It was like Roman and Brock came in, did all his finisher moves. Roman came in, Superman punched everybody. They passed around brass knuckles, and then the guy came in and cheated, and the match was over with. How did the crowd react in the stadium to the main event? Like, were they hyped for it? I feel like they were hyped. Like when Jey Uso did the run it back thing, I was like, all right, in the middle of War Games? Like, that's a little much. But I guess they were just fucking stalling to get Brock out there. But how was the crowd reaction to the main event?
Usually when you attend things in person, it translates a little bit better when you're in the moment. But I could say being in person, this wasn't good. And the fans didn't really react to anything outside of the entrances. It was kind of deflating. Like you said, the match kind of ended quickly once you finally got started. Like you said, fans were into the Jay thing, but when it happened, like I literally said out loud, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? like people around me were into it. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? This is War Games. Like,
right.
Dusty's creation. Like, this is supposed to be, blowing off fuse in a war. And it was like cartoonish. And they've had good War Games since bringing up the main roster. The first one with the Bloodline and Sammy and
last year's was good.
Yeah. I'm like, man.
The one with Sammy where he turned on KO finally to help Roman win and join the Bloodline, and like that's when the Bloodline really fucking took off, was when Jay was like, all right, you can be in the fucking family now. That was good. It was good storytelling. It was physical, the whole nine, right? And then last year, CM Punk helping the Bloodline versus Solo and all them, like that was another good one. It had like drama. And then they didn't even have the cages out there. I guess because they didn't want to put Brock in a cage with everybody and let him stand there. So it was like a Royal Rumble type entrance where you didn't know who was coming out next.
I didn't like that. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've heard people like, I like how they switched it up like that. But like you said, it's probably just because they cater to Brock. But like then I was thinking back in my head, like, thinking back to the WCW, like haven't they always been out even in the WCW days? Or you have to wait like outside, like
your whole team's out there. They didn't put them in cages like they did in WWE, but like I remember Sting's team, they would all stand outside by the steps on one side, and then the other team would stand on the other side. And when it was your turn to go in, like you went in.
Yeah, I like that. I don't like the Royal Rumble style entrance, but like you said, the crowd when everything happened and they had the mystery man, people were like didn't really know what to think. It was like what? And they were like, people were just sticking around because people didn't think it was over. They were like, even the extra guy that was left to me, he's like, wait, something's gonna happen after the credits roll, and then that happened and nothing happened. He was like, oh, I guess not. It was just so deflating how nothing happened afterwards. It didn't translate well in the stadium.
I have seen a lot of stuff online about people feeling like people that were there felt like something else was going to happen as far as like Roman and Cody and Punk. And then apparently everybody just left. And people were like, what the fuck is this? Like that weak ass main event and y'all would just leave. I don't know, man. Triple H is losing a lot of fucking confidence with me. Like, not that I ever was. Like I've said from the jump street, I don't think he's that good. I think he was riding off of what Vince and the Bloodline had started, which is why they were so hot. And now, we're coming up on 2-3 years of him doing the shit by himself. And his track record the past year or so hasn't been good with what he's been doing. And he's out there talking about tonight's Monday Night Raw is going to be epic and change everything. I'm like, you said that shit about a month ago.
He's getting in Tony Khan-ish territory if he don't.
That part.
Tony Khan has kind of dialed it back in the past year or so as far as doing that. But I don't know, man. You've been a harsher critic of Triple H, and I'm like, it's been better than what Vince had, but he's not doing himself any favors. Like, I'm with you. Like, he's running out of shit, of ideas, and it's clearly showing.
I wonder how much of it is the TKO factor too, where they've come out and said they're all about money. Like, they do those conference calls with the shareholders. Like, they pretty much told everybody, and it's been reported, like, yeah, we're going to keep raising ticket prices. Like, we're trying to get all the money we can from people. So they're like, they don't give a fuck. This isn't your dad's wrestling company anymore where, you know, it's family friendly and we're trying to make it so you can bring the whole family. Like, they don't give a fuck about that anymore. They're trying to get as much money as possible, as quick as possible. And that's why you go to one of these shows and you sit for 20 minutes in between matches, because they got to get all their fucking Slim Jim and Cricket Wireless shit in there.
One big ad. And like you said, they said they're going to keep raising it. So I don't know, something's got to give. But when you do that, you got to at least deliver in the ring. And to end it, things like that, like I said, it was very underwhelming.
What about the women's War Games match? How'd that come off in person?
I mean, it was better than the guys, but I feel like that could have been stretched out a little longer. People, of course, they loved the spot where EO went off the cage, and there was another spot that somebody did, and they were saying, holy shit, that wasn't warranted. But definitely the cage spot, I'll give them that. That's her doing the flip off the somersault or swanton. That was cool.
I thought she fucked her leg up.
Oh, yeah? I didn't.
Watching it on TV, I thought she fucked her leg up.
So you got a better vantage point of actually watching it on TV. It was cool. I think when we did our predictions, I had a feeling they were gonna go face, woman, and then heel, men team, and that's what happened. But I'm curious how they push the story forward from now, because AJ Lee, I guess, has Becky number, but no title on the line. I guess it's just a good old fashioned feud between them that may carry on.
Becky said she didn't tap out.
That's what she said. Becky Trump.
She said
she's hilarious.
She said she was waving her hands, trying to get her team to come over there because she had a plan on how to escape the move that AJ had her in, and they were about to strike, and the referee said she tapped out, and she really didn't. And I went back and watched it, and it does kind of look like she's waving. It doesn't look like she's tapped. I mean, she tapped out, but I think that's something going forward too. Like, I don't know what this new little Trump gimmick she's got going on, but I'm interested to see like if it works out or not. Yeah. But it's funny on Twitter. She brought a little bit of it into the ring last week when she was talking about everybody, but I don't know. I'm digging. Yeah.
Awful Alexa. So knowing Trump, clearly she's making fun of him, but she's coding it where it could be taken as paying homage. Trump probably thinks she's paying homage. You think, right?
I wouldn't doubt if within the next month or so we see Trump tweet that Becky Lynch is the greatest women's wrestler of all time or something like that. Which is probably what she's going for.
I mean, I think clearly she's making fun of his dumbass, but she's doing it where she's doing it in a clever way.
Well, yeah, she's playing a heel, basically doing exactly what he's doing, and in a way, it's kind of ironic, right? Like, she's a heel in wrestling and nobody likes her and they hate the way she's doing shit, but yet what she's doing is exactly what he's doing, and you got all these people that love him. So she's kind of like shitting on people too. Like, this is the kind of shit y'all like in real life, but here in fantasy land you don't like it. It makes no sense, but I'm digging it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, me too. Like you said, you'll see him tweet, she's doing a great job in there.
And she'll be on TV and be like, I'm the greatest women's wrestler of all time. It's not just me saying it. President Donald Trump says it.
Definitely trolling, but Yeah, like you said, it's funny how she was able to like make it seem like you could go back and look at it that she wasn't tapping, but clearly she was tapping. I like that little touch to it. But like I said, other than that, the match was fine. Outside the trash can spot is nothing really to rant and rave about. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad, but I mean, was what it was.
Yeah, AJ Lee is like, I've never felt that way about her, and then kind of like Rhea Ripley also not a big Charlotte fan, although I enjoy Charlotte with Alexa more. I love Io, love Becky Lynch. I'm excited about Lash Legend and what she's gonna do on the main roster, but it and I don't want to beat a dead horse because I know people say this, but it just feels like having War Games be scheduled for Survivor Series. Sometimes you're going to get years like this where you just force a bunch of people together.
Yeah, and people were talking about it's getting in the Hell in the Cell territory. And I get why they say that, but WCW did it every year and they didn't get stale. So why can't WWE find a way to do it as well?
I mean, you do have all these factions and shit, but like, you really gonna put the MFTs versus the fucking Wyatt Six in War Games?
Yeah, you got a point.
You know what I mean? Like, it would make more sense technically because they're all groups that work together and don't like the other team, but nobody wants to see that shit. So you just put all the stars in there, but it's just, this shit was just thrown together. I feel like the last couple of years there were stories going into it. This story wasn't good at all because Triple H doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, nothing really to add on that. I mean, in between though, we did have Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella. And,
Man, Nikki Bella looked good.
yeah, Nikki Bella in. But I could say this was the least cared about match, which is unfortunate because Stephanie does her thing in the ring. The match was fine to me, but it seems like fans weren't really into it. Maybe it was a cool down period after the whole Cena match and whatnot. But I don't know, man. That's unfortunate. I feel like Stephanie, she's still over with the fans. You still have fans in there chanting La Primera here and there. But I don't know. For some reason, in this Triple H era, we talked about it with the men, but with the women too. Like he has his women that are always gonna be on top, like your Rhea, and then like when you have the champions, somebody who's not like his woman, it feels like they're kind of like an afterthought a little bit. Happened with Tiffany a little bit. It's happened a little bit with Stephanie, even though she's super popular with the fans. The verdict is still out on Jade because it's so new. But why do you think it's like that?
I don't think he knows how to book champions. I think he can book the chase to the championship and make people that aren't the champion more interesting than the actual champion. I mean, look at Cody. Cody's had two really shitty. I mean, they're gonna say, "Oh, the metrics show that Cody's really popular and blah blah blah." But when you think about both of Cody's titles reign, they're not good. Like the chase was way more fun for him to get to the title. The matches for him to get to the title, but as the champion, he hasn't had a good reign. Io Sky had a decent reign. Liv's reign was good just because of all the shit with Rhea. But then when Rhea got it, I don't think it was that good. Naomi got her, I shouldn't say her legs cut off from under with injury, but she had to give it up because she was having the baby. And now Stephanie's got it, and it's like half the time she's not even on TV as the champion. Like if she's not wrestling, she's not working.
I get what you're saying. I totally agree that he doesn't know how to book champions, but for some reason, Rhea's always like the focal point, whether she has a championship or not. Because when she does have the championship, she's the focus. But if she doesn't, she's the focus. It's just interesting. I don't know why. Like why she get to be the fixation with a belt or not.
I mean, she is popular. It makes sense that she would be the centerpiece, but like you said, it doesn't always have to be about her. But they're trying this thing with Stephanie, which I enjoy. When the bell rings, Stephanie Vaquer is like, there ain't many people better than her. You know what I mean? But I think the English thing is making her suffer a little bit, not being able to speak as well. And again, there's nothing like, if she's not wrestling, she's not on TV, and you kind of forget about her. Like when she won that over the top rope battle royal at Evolution here in Atlanta, she was off TV for like 3 weeks after that.
Yeah. And I'm guessing when Naomi vacated, I was like, it'd be fun to see Stephanie chase it, but they just put it on her. So that's why I thought it would be fun for Nikki to win and for her to actually do the chase leading into Mania. But I guess they're riding with her until the Mania season, and I'm just hoping they feature her on TV more.
They just had Nikki come in putting everybody over.
That's what they do, man. when it comes to some of the legends, like look at Miz, like all he does is lose. One person didn't really do it with Randy, basically.
Speaking of legends losing, John Cena and Dominic Mysterio. Dom's now a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Cena got his Grand Slam thing out the way, and you had a return of Liv Morgan, Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. Yeah, how'd the crowd react to this? I'm sure they were pumped for fucking Cena's last match. Like,
yeah, I think this probably like had the most electricity, especially like throughout the whole match. I like how they slowly trotted out like the whole Judgment Day and had them come in spurts, and Cena was able to overcome everyone except the final boss. Apparently it was like whispers of I was about to say Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan coming back, but I didn't like. I was listening to things after the event. Like I went back and listened to some stuff that I missed early in the week, and apparently that was a whisper. I didn't know that she was coming back, so I'm glad I didn't listen to those podcasts beforehand, because apparently there was like whispers of her coming back.
It was more than
lo and
whispers.
behold,
It's literally
I'm
like
glad
people reporting like Liv Morgan's on her way back in the next couple of weeks, and it's like, fuck, man. Like, why do y'all do that shit?
Yeah. Luckily, it wasn't in my algorithm because I didn't expect her to come back, and of course, fans were excited, and we knew she was helping Dom. By the way, it unfolded, like they tried to play it off with the slap, and then she kind of did like a callback to when John Cena. How did it translate on TV when you saw her eyes? Like I just hadn't went back and watched, and the commentators were crazy or anything.
She did a good job with her facial expressions. She was basically AJ Lee last night, like turning on people left and right and jumping into people's arms. That's literally what AJ Lee used to do all the fucking time when she got popular. Jump up on Kane's arms and make out with him, and then kick him in the nuts.
So, I thought when she would come back, I thought it would be, to confront Roxanne Perez right away, but I'm guessing they're going to let that story play out. I'm guessing they're going to do a slow burn with that. I don't know who's going to be the first out. If you had to decide who you think be the first one that goes out of Judgment Day.
Roxy. She's out of here. Liv Morgan's back. Beat it.
I feel like Roxy still has a lot of left to tell as like a heel. I feel like fans want to cheer Liv at this moment. So I'm guessing if she gets kicked out, it'll be like a face group.
I would like if Raquel Rodriguez was like, look, you've been gone. She's been teaming with me. She's been helping out. Like, I get she's flirting with Dom a little bit too much, but it ain't just about that. Like, it's about the whole group. And Liv's like, bitch, please. She's out of here. And then Raquel fucking turns on Roxy. Where it looks like she's going to turn on Liv, but she turns on Roxy. That makes Roxy a babyface. Because she's got a moveset like a babyface. Like, I am enjoying her as a heel. Like, she's kind of... She's got like that smart ass attitude where she's doing well with it, but I think Roxy as a babyface would be good for a little while.
You can do it like that, and I wouldn't be mad at that. But when it comes to a newer wrestler who's still, getting in with the fans, like fans are still getting to know her. I don't know how much the groundswell is just to want to cheer her, because when it's undeniable when the fans want to cheer you. So I don't know. I'm hoping it wouldn't fall flat if they did it that way and fans aren't totally behind her yet. But you could creatively, that would make sense.
Yeah, We'll see which way they go with it. Anything else you want to touch on from Survivor Series?
How did it look when Braun Breaker at the neck? Because when I was looking at it, it looked bad in the stadium. I thought he was hurt.
I didn't see that. I saw the clip, I think I saw a still shot of it online. I didn't see it happening, so I can't comment on that. But I did say earlier, when Io jumped off the cage, I thought she fucked her leg up because she did a somersault, and when she landed, it looked like her leg got caught. I was like, ooh, please don't let her be hurt. And then she got up and celebrated. She was fine, but that shit right there made me, so many times where you see watching football and shit like that, somebody's leg basically snapped is what I thought was about to happen. Your boy from AEW, that shit happened too. He did the plancha to the outside of the ring a couple years ago. So I was worried about that. I did not see the Braun Breaker thing, but clearly he's fine. He fucking finished the match. They're overdoing the shit out of his fucking spear, running the ropes, and I don't know. It just looks fucking corny. It's like they do something cool, and then they just run the shit into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, once they catch on to something, they overdo it. But I'm guessing that's what they're gonna run with. But yeah, I'm glad that he's fine. But yeah, man, I mean, overall, I was underwhelmed by the event. Besides like the Cena stuff, I'm still glad that I went, just to say I went to San Diego, and it's John Cena's last PLE, because to kind of tie everything into one another. So AEW moved Blood and Guts to November, clearly to have it in close proximity with War Games, because they usually during the summer. So which one did you think had the better event, Blood and Guts or War Games?
I ain't like either one of them. And I ain't trying to be like a curmudgeon. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of these long, drawn out fucking For some reason, I loved War Games as a kid, probably because Sting was in it a lot. But I'm just not a fan of a match that I know. Like Iron Man matches, I don't like those either. When I know it's gonna go 60 minutes. Now, if we ring the bell and we wrestle and we go 60 minutes, to me, that's more dramatic because I don't know. But when I know that there's a certain time limit, like the match doesn't officially start till everybody gets out there, I get bored really easily.
Yeah, I guess it's just your style of match. But as far as like the nuts and bolts of the match, I thought Blood and Guts was more entertaining.
I'll agree with that.
When you do a match like that, AEW goes over the top. Like, sometimes they could leave the 4 spots out, but when it's a Blood and Guts match, you want to see violence. Like, even the fire spot, that was a little bit much, but you're like, shit, they're going, they give you your money's worth. And I feel like to be a match where it's supposed to be a blow-off feud, War Games was very underwhelming.
I feel like if I had to rank the 4 matches, I would go Women's Blood and Guts number 1, Blood and Guts number 2, Women's War Games number 3, and then with all the fucking main eventers they had in the main War Games match, that would be number 4. It was like, if you told me I had to pick one to go back and watch, that would be the last one I picked.
You picked exactly how I would rank it, so nothing really to add on that. That's
yeah,
exactly how I would rank it. The Women's Blood and Guts, they put on. But I don't know, man. People be talking about maybe you skip a year and let the feuds build up. I think both events, I wouldn't be mad if both events skipped a year, Blood and Guts and War Games, and pulled out of nowhere. But I understand that that's what you marketed, that be a yearly thing. But especially with the War Games, like you said, it was just randomly thrown together last minute. Blood and Guts as well, but at least, like I said, it was entertaining.
Well, you had beef though, right? Like you had the toxic I can't think of their name. I was about to say the toxic bitches, but I don't want to do that.
The triangle madness.
Yeah, the toxic triangle. You had them beefing with all the baby faces, and you had Megan Bain and what's her name, Marina Shafir, also like. So it made sense because they all had legit beef with each other, and then the men you had fucking the Death Riders running around, running roughshod on everybody. So, motherfucker said enough of this shit. Close the cage door. Let's get this shit over with. You know what I mean? Like, they had actual beef. All this shit in WWE, and niggas could have had an 8-man tag or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, basically. But Seth being out, I guess, kind of threw a wrench in the plans. I think him being the centerpiece would have put more oomph and more little fuel to the fire, so to speak. But
yeah, I think Seth going out really fucked up WWE's plans. I think this was going to be the year of Seth, and he got hurt, which is unfortunate. You know, he won at WrestleMania. He finally got the belt back, won Money in the Bank, had his own group. He was going to be the center. He probably would have main evented WrestleMania by himself this year, which he's never done. So, yeah.
I mean, we've heard that before. Seth hurt. I mean, I hate to call people injury prone, but he gets hurt at the worst times. And the best ability is availability.
Yeah, that's why Roman don't wrestle that much.
Yeah, but before we wrap up, the Mystery Man, we talked about it for a little bit. Usually, like with the storyline company that WWE is, I would be excited for something like this. But if it is who people saying it is, like I really,
yeah, I don't know who it could be that would be better than what the rumor is right now. Like I don't know who's out there that could be better for it. You know.
So, might as well address the elephant in the room. If you heard the rumors of me, like Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Not a spoiler show, but that's the rumor. When are we gonna be done with this Austin Theory experiment? Like nothing against the kid, but I know you were more.
You gotta do my boy like that. We gonna get
a fan of him than I am, but I just don't see it, man.
We're gonna get this boy over, okay? This is gonna happen. This is Triple H's version of Roman Reigns. I don't give a damn what the fans say. We gonna get Austin Theory over. We gotta put him with everybody. Shit, we might fucking dust off the Undertaker and have him beat him.
I guess the Venn diagram is overlapping. Austin Theory's in the middle because he's a Vince guy, so he's a Triple H guy too. He was both just like him.
I don't know. They do got to get some younger people in there, though. You know, the top of the card's getting long in the tooth. You know, you're Seth, like you said, he's injured a lot. CM Punk's, 45, 47. Roman's in his 40s. Jay's in his 40s. Gunther's not a spring chicken. Like, they do got to start getting some of these younger guys to the next level.
It's funny that you bring that up. A fun fact that I heard somewhere is there hasn't been a world champion born after 1987, which is kind of mind-blowing because I'm born in 88, so there hasn't been a champion my age. That's crazy to think about.
Is that true? That can't be true.
I mean, I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but that, you know, you can skew stats too because Randy Orton won the title when he was like 24. So, like, yeah,
I get
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's been younger champions, but that means lately we've been skewing older champions because I think Gunther is born in 87. He first won it, last year, 2024 or end of 2020? I can't remember. He won in 2024 because he just lost it this year. So, you gotta, like, just looking at the landscape of wrestlers under 30, you got Dom, you got Theory, Breaker, that's about it. As far as like notable, Melo's over 30, Trick is over 30, Oba's under 30.
Yeah,
and then you got Javon, he's young in charge. I think they need to focus on guys like his age, like 21. But you know,
that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody that age though, with a $1 billion company like TKO. You know what I mean? You need seasoned veterans in that spot. I'm not saying you need old guys, but 23, 24 might be a little early to put the rocket ship on them.
Remember back in when we were teens and I was maybe younger in the 90s, how 40-something-year-old wrestlers seem so old. How they used to make fun of Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. But like modern medicine, you got people in their 40s that take care of their body and they look like they're in their late 20s and early 30s still. So I think now we're starting to see that poke its head when you got these people that are in their 40s still performing at a high level. It's only but so many spots left.
Hogan was like in his 30s when WWE was making fun of him being old.
Yeah, exactly. But he looked like 50 something.
Yeah,
So.
he did. He did. But still, he legit was like 30 something when he was running on top of NW. Well, how old was Hogan? I
think he
can't
was
remember.
born.
I thought he was born like 60 something, right? So if he was born in the 60s, he was in
He's
his
born in the
30s.
50s.
Was he?
He's born in the 50s. Yeah. I want
So
to say.
he was in his 40s when he was running with the NWO then, which is still young.
Yeah. Look at Roman's in his 40s now, and
Right.
he's not built. He's not built the same. Look at Roman's 40 and Hogan and Macho and all those guys 40. They don't look the same.
Macho Man. Macho Man looked like such a deranged old man. This dude was like my age.
I don't know. They must have been putting shit back in the food back in those days because, like I said, I guess we just taking better care of ourselves and not putting bullshit in our body. And a lot of drugs had to do with it. You know how
Oh
drugs
yeah.
was rampant.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of the older guys now make fun of the younger guys if you listen to like certain podcasts. Like, when I was coming up, we were all drunk in the locker room and playing cards, and these guys are eating right and playing video games and going to the gym. Like, what happened to the sport I love? It's like all your friends are dead, bro. Like, clearly something's wrong.
You can barely walk, so take that for what it's worth. But yeah, like I said, people taking care of themselves. So some of these younger guys aren't getting the opportunity as you would have saw, because they had like back when the Rock and Stone Cold were in their prime, the Attitude Era is like they were kind of forced it because all the other guys, the notable stars, were in WCW, so it was just go time.
Yeah.
They had a chance because they didn't have any other route to make way that back. We had to go with the players that we had, and so they had no choice but to step up.
Yep. Well, that's all we got for wrestling this week, EJ. Let's get with these NFL picks and get up out of here because we are both running on E.
So yeah, we weren't around this. We were supposed to do a show Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we skipped the week results. So week 12, I went 10-3. We both did well this week, and you went 8-5. What put me at 116-59 and 103-72 for you. And then for week 13, which is still going on, so I have to do Monday. We picked our Monday night game, which I'll count for next week. But we went neck and neck, so we picked like 5 different games differently, and going into it, we were like tied. But I went 9-6, and you went 8-7, and the tiebreaker game was the Steelers. And who did they face? I'm looking at it right now. The Steelers and
Seahawks?
That's not the game. Oh, the Steelers and Bills. I had Bills, you had Steelers, and that was the tiebreaker game. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with the Steelers. Like, and I like Tomlin, but
they try to fire this dude every year, and all he does is win. Have a winning record, get to the playoffs, and
one game that you got right, and I didn't. I didn't see the Bears and the Eagles. You picked the Bears. I picked the Eagles, and I mean, I guess are the Bears the real deal?
I think they're good. I think they're not going to do shit in the playoffs, but I think they'll probably end up with the number 1 seed.
Interesting. I think the NFC North might get 3 teams in there.
Actually, the Bears got a difficult schedule coming up. I disagree with you though. I don't think they're going to get 3 teams because I think there's going to be a team in Texas that might make a little bit of a run. I'm not on the wagon yet, believing. But buddy, I'm firing up the engine. Like, if they win this Thursday, it's all systems go.
One game that kept it close, I didn't see the Packers beating the Lions, but you picked the Packers and I picked the Lions. And I don't know what to think about the Packers, but yeah, I picked the Cowboys. You didn't have any faith in our team. You had the Chiefs.
That's not true. I said on this show that I wasn't picking them again until they proved to me that they were serious about winning. And one win against Philadelphia doesn't prove that. Now, beating both Super Bowl teams in 4 days, I could probably be skewed. But there's also the text that you sent me that I was kind of subscribing to anyway. I picked against them 3 times in a row now, and they won 3 games in a row. So do I sacrifice my record and hope they keep winning?
Well, let's get into it. Monday Night Football, we already picked, but I'll say it again for air. Both of us got the Patriots over the Giants. Thursday Night Football, every year they run Thursday back-to-back with the Cowboys. Cowboys going to Detroit to face the Lions who are coming off that loss. I am going with the Lions on this one, even though Cowboys on the streak. Like I said, maybe I'll reverse psychology it, but I'm going with the Lions on this one.
I got the Lions also, but if the Cowboys win this, it pretty much the Cowboys can technically lose one more game. It'll make it more difficult and still have a path to get in, but they pretty much need to run the table. I think the Lions have more room for error, but theoretically, like, the loser of this game probably ain't getting in.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Going to Sunday, Seahawks traveling to your neck of the woods to face the Falcons. I haven't watched a lot of Seahawks game. Why are they so good? Like, because
Their defense.
Like I said, I don't trust them. Okay, because I don't trust Sam Darnold.
Yeah, their defense is good. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, man. They're fire hot right now. You don't want to go to Seattle to play them in the playoffs. I know that much.
Yeah, cold ass weather. I got Seahawks as well. Bengals at Bills. You didn't tell me Burrow's coming back, or else I would have probably picked them last week against the Ravens. Maybe not, just because I thought he had to shake off the rust. But he's right back in the saddle. He's traveling to Buffalo to face the Bills.
I got the Bills.
Yeah, with that being said, I got the Bills as well. Tennessee traveling to Cleveland to take Shador and the Browns. You like how they doing your boy Shador so far?
I mean, he's not good, but they don't really have
rookie, man.
I know they don't really have a choice, but their defense is serious. If they ever get a quarterback, man, in the next couple years, that team's gonna be dangerous. Myles Garrett's a fucking animal. I'll take Cleveland.
I mean, they still got Watson on the payroll?
Yeah, he's hurt though, and he's not good either.
He was good when he was a Texan. I'm telling you, this franchise is cursed. No quarterback does well in this organization. It's a culture thing. So no matter how good their defense is, no quarterback will ever do well in the Browns.
What about Bernie Kosar?
Before we were born, man. We talk about post Jerry Jones owning the Cowboys era. So it is what it is. Like you said, what was Bernie Kosar the 80s?
I don't even remember. I wasn't even sure he played for fucking Browns when I said it.
Was it Ken Stabler? Wasn't he a Browns?
Who was their quarterback on Tecmo Bowl? I don't even know if I ever used the fucking Browns on Tecmo Bowl. Didn't they have a black quarterback on Tecmo Bowl? God damn it.
I never played that damn game. That was a little bit before my time. But, yeah. You say you got Cleveland. The Titans are not good, so I'm going with Cleveland as well. Commanders at Vikings. Was it the Broncos and Commanders? Apparently it was a good game. Did you see highlights? I didn't. I was traveling, so I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Which game was this?
Broncos Commanders Sunday Night Football. Apparently it was a good game.
No, I didn't. I didn't see it, but yeah, the Commanders lost, so I'm with it.
I'll go with the Vikings on this one, even though the Commanders are a slight favorite. Both teams are not good.
I'll go with the Vikings also.
Dolphins at Jets. This is a shit bowl.
Give me the Jets. The Jets are making a little run right now.
You got the I'll go with Miami, even though I'm not confident in that pick. I don't know. How come Tua isn't on the hot coals on the hot seat, so to speak?
I don't know. They're probably just waiting on him to fucking retire.
Those concussions, motherfucker. Saints at Bucks. I'm going Baker Mayfield and the Bucks on this one.
Yeah, I'll take the Bucks.
Colts traveling to old Jacksonville with Shad and Tony Khan to face the Jaguars.
I think the Colts have ran their course on being a surprisingly good team, and now people are paying attention to them. So, and this is a division game, and I'm pretty sure if Jacksonville wins, don't they take the lead in first place? Aren't they like a game away from each other?
They're both 8-4.
So yeah, give me Jacksonville. Give me the Jags. I'm back on it.
I'll go Colts just to be different. Danny Dimes will show up. This is an interesting one. Both 6-6, 500 teams. Steelers at Ravens.
Fuck Lamar Jackson.
What's going on with him? I feel like he hasn't.
This is the first year I've had him in fantasy. You know, my fantasy team was 6-1. And I'm not going to make the playoffs now. I'm pretty sure unless Wandale Robinson gets me 22 points, I'm losing tonight and I'll be 6-7. A fucking 6-game losing streak after dominating. All because of Lamar Jackson. He got hurt and now that he's come back, I've literally lost 2 games from starting him. And he's got less than 10 fucking points. So, yeah. My whole fucking season. I'll never pick that motherfucker again.
It happened with me. Like, he had an MVP quality season the year before I picked him. This was like, 2023 or so, and then he didn't do that well. And then the next season, he had another MVP season. I'm like, of course that happens when I pick your ass. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I guess he's a hit or miss. That happened with at one of my leagues. So I started off slow, but then I was like cooking with fish grease, and then like injuries just ravaged my team, and now I'm like on like a 2 or 3 game losing streak. The fucking tight end of the Detroit, what's his name, Lapartia, him getting injured really fucked me over, but I digress. I think we both got the Ravens in this one, though. Broncos at Raiders. I'm going with Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos.
This will be interesting. Bears at Packers.
I'm going to go Packers. I think the Packers are going to sweep the Bears in the next couple games, which I think is going to open the door for a lot of other. I know I just said I think the Bears might win first place. I meant the Packers. I think the Packers might get the number 1 seed. They play each other twice in the next 3 weeks, and I think Green Bay is going to sweep them.
Yeah, I think the Packers just have the Bears number, kind of little brother syndrome. I got the Packers in this one as well. Well, you think the Packers might win you said division or conference?
They might have number 1 seed overall.
I still leaving hope for the team we're about to talk about next. Rams at Cardinals. I feel like, I don't know what happened with them in Carolina, but going into that, I felt like the Rams were the best team in the NFC, but I don't know what happened. I didn't watch the game. I'm sure that it seems like the defense. I saw Stafford throw a couple picks when I was in the airport, but it seemed like the defense probably let them down if they let them score that many points.
I was sitting at the little bar on the corner from the convention center, and they had football on, and I was eating a sandwich and having a drink, and people kept cheering for the fucking Panthers, and I'm like, why are we cheering? And I realized, oh shit, duh, I'm in North Carolina, like a fucking hour outside of Charlotte. But I mean, they were super loud, and they're like, let's go, like running around the bar and shit. I'm like, it's the fucking Panthers. And then, yeah, it took me a minute to realize where I was at.
It's interesting to travel around the country and see fandom in different areas. When I was living in Portland, like the bars were full of Ducks fans going crazy, like you said, and like never seen this in my life, but you know, it's a big ass country, fandom everywhere. So did you say your pick for Rams or Cardinals? I got Rams.
I got Rams.
Texans at Chiefs. I feel like this is do or die for the Chiefs. The Texans don't have a lot of room for margin for error either.
I think they're dead. I think the Texans are going to win. I think Texans might have the best defense in football.
If it were in Houston, I probably pick the Texans, but saving a little hope for the Chiefs. I'm gonna take Chiefs at home, which brings us to the Monday night game next week. Eagles at Chargers. Eagles have been, even though they're still 8-4, they seem like they're not the same team as they were last year.
I think the Eagles are going to lose 5 games this year, and this will be one of them.
So they're gonna win out after this, you think?
They're 8-4. Oh, I'm sorry, 6 games. I think the Eagles are going to go 11-6. I think the Cowboys will be 11-5-1.
11-5-1.
Mm-hmm. Meaning the Cowboys are going to win out, and the Eagles are going to lose 2 more.
If that were to happen, this tiebreaker is throwing me off. Who would win the division?
The Cowboys would. They got the same amount of wins, but 1 less loss.
Well, I was looking at the Cowboys schedule. It's not easy from what I can remember off the top of my head. So we'll see how it plays out. But I got the Chargers in this one as well. I didn't realize buys went this late in the season. Patriots, Giants, 49ers, Panthers, all on buys.
Yeah, I saw that too. Which I think is bullshit because that's around the time fantasy football playoff starts. Like, why are we having buys this week? I know they don't cater to fantasy football, but that's a long fucking time to be playing football without a bye. Cowboys schedule, they got the Lions, Chargers, Commanders, Giants, and they got one more that I'm leaving out. Oh, the Vikings.
All the winnable games. The Chargers. Yeah. Where's that at? In Dallas?
I think it's in LA. That'll be a difficult one. If they can get by the Lions and the Chargers, I think they'll win the other 3. But they're gonna need to beat the Lions and Chargers. The other 3, I think they should have no issue beating them. So if they can get these next 2, I think they can run the table and go from fucking 3-5-1 to 11-5-1. Could you imagine if they ran the table, won 8 games in a row, and still didn't make the playoffs because of that goddamn tie?
The irony. I'd be pissed, but it is what it is. That'd be some shit.
The Cowboys are literally 2 deflections away from being, what's their record? Their record's 6-5-1. They're 2 deflections away from being 8-4 right now and tied for first place. The deflection in the end zone with the Packer game where the ball bounced up, it hit the ground instead of bouncing in the air and letting it 1 second run off. That should have been a win. And they literally called the perfect play against Carolina to stop them on 4th down, and the linebacker was a dumbass. And I don't know if we talked about this on here or not, but I watched the play. It was 4th down. DeRon Bland was off of the cornerback, making him take the slant. And they called the play to where the linebacker would come out and cut the slant off. And this motherfucker faked like he was going in to get the running back when that wasn't the fucking play call. And he missed it by like 6 inches. He knocks that ball down, they win the game. There's 2 more wins right there. Little shit like that in the whole season fuck stuff up. But it is what it is.
Inches, right?
Anything else you want to say before we get up out of here, EJ?
Nah, man. We hit a lot of stuff. Like look at the clock and like, man, we've been going for more than an hour. Time flies. We're talking wrestling.
I think for the schedule, we hadn't decided yet. EJ's got some traveling to do next week also. We may miss a week next week. We'll see how it all works out. I don't think anything interesting is happening in the world. Of course, something will go down tonight and on Wednesday and a fucking title change on SmackDown. And we'll have to have a show. But as of right now, we probably won't have a show next week. So tune in to all the TikToks and Instagrams and the whole 9. We'll be posting, stuff from Wrestlecade, maybe Survivor Series. And make sure to like us on YouTube. If you're in here now, hit the like button on the way out. And for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been another episode of Boot to the Face. Until next time, peace.